so glad you could join me today. Today we'll be doing a nice little interesting painting. I thought today we could do a nice little seascape painting instead of the regular mountain and tree painting. So today we'll be doing a nice seascape, and I just thought about it a couple minutes ago. I still don't have a clear idea. I just have a basic idea, you could say. But let's get started. Let's put my image on canvas and you guys could follow along. Let me run the colors across the screen that you'll need, and on top of that, I'll tell you what I've done over here. I just got a regular canvas that you can find at any craft store or any art store, and just put it on my easel. Rather than that, I haven't touched the canvas, nothing. My medium is to the side, and again, by this time, the colors have run across the screen, and you guys could follow along if you decide to. If not, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video today. Now, as I mentioned, I'm looking for like a sunset type painting. Maybe it's a seascape, but it's a sunset. So I'm gonna go into cadmium yellow, and I'm gonna dip it into some medium. Just very little medium on the corner of the brush. Now thin out your paint. Okay, let's come up here and very lightly, doesn't require too much pressure. And just with the 2-inch, just going in X mark strokes, just back and forth, back and forth. Okay, now I left a little gap here. The reason why is because I want to go in through some white, titanium white, with the top corner, and just block in a light source. It won't really matter much, but it's there. I think you could see it in person. Let's go into a little bit of alizarin crimson to give that reddish feel. Again, you just need very little medium. You don't need much medium. The medium will thin out your paint so much. Now, let's come up here, and I wanna surround it a bit. There we go. Just like so. Maybe there's nice little stringy things that come out. Doesn't matter. Doesn't really matter. And like that, it'll help push this back a bit. Now, if you say, nope, I don't want this too much, get a little bit more yellow, of cadmium yellow, and you could blend it in, and it'll become like an orangey color. You decide your fate, the way you want your painting to look. See, after a while of painting, the problem isn't how to paint it, but the problem is what to paint. Because if you do something reference, it's like copying. And the only way you could say it's your painting is if you do your twist to it, or if it's one of your ideas. And so that's the only thing I don't like about painting, is there's so many ideas, but it's almost like you have to think about it first. Unless, of course, you say, I'm gonna paint a national park. I, I'm painting this view. And you say, this painting was inspired by, and you say, then it's still valid. But I don't like doing that here. I like, even though at times it might get a little frustrating not having ideas, I think your ideas is what makes you a painting your painting. I think nature is, when you go to a national park and all that, I see it as God's painting. I think God was having a good day when he was creating Earth. Okay, and there's some Prussian blue. It's pretty dark, so I'll pull in some titanium white and I'll tap at random. Doesn't matter. Really, truly doesn't matter where. We're gonna blend those out either way. But I want it going up in that stroke, in that direction, to make it look like the sky's moving this way. There we go. Simple, isn't it? You can paint too. Now, I want to go back into some alizarin crimson, and I want to really fire in like a dark crimson, a very, very dark crimson. I got tired of looking at that orange, but you could always change it. There's no right or wrong. See, this is a mistake. The colors blend in too much. So what do? First thing, grab my palette knife and scrape it off. Second thing, if you have like a paper towel or anything, that will help. You don't have to have one, but it'll help remove that paint. And then finally, just go back with the clean brush. And mistake, fix. Now I want to blend the red and the blue. Just beat off the brush. And it's almost like nothing ever happened. Unless you watch my videos. Then you could say, nope, this happened. Okay. And just like so, perfect. Have your little sunset. Now, let's go in back to that Prussian blue. And I said we're doing a seascape, so we're gonna do one. Try to keep that line straight. If it's a little crooked, it won't be that bad, but if it's pretty bad, it's gonna bother you a lot. So try to maintain your brush and everything straight. As straight as you can possibly get it. And then, of course, just block in paint. You know what? Let's put in a cloud before we get to a head. We're gonna go into a little bit of alizarin crimson, and I'm using a number 3 fan brush. Load it up. It's like a nice pink color. And just get crazy with it. Just get crazy, get tough. Well, not tough, but get crazy with it. And we rarely use this brush. We usually use a 2-inch, but today we'll use the blender. I think blender will be nice to use. But again, if you don't have a blender brush, feel free to use your 2-inch. You are not required. And now I think it's too red, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna get my palette knife and just block in a little highlight. Now, this might seem intimidating, but you just gotta get it done. You can go in circles, but as long as you have that paint on, you should be fine. Let's come up here, blend it out. Nicely blend out. Caress that canvas. Give it a little love, a little support. Everyone needs a little support time to time. And I'm just going back and forth. But hey, maybe you don't even want a cloud. Maybe you just want to leave it like that. It's all up to you. You're the creator of your paintings. You make what you want. Now, I'm gonna go back. I'm just here to show you guys how effects are made. So now we're gonna go back here. Okay. Now, let's go into a little mountain mixture and mix it up with Prussian blue. I think here is our big wave. And I'm gonna leave some of that without color. You'll see why in a little second. You know what? I'm gonna use this brush. Same dirty brush. You can just beat it to take off the paint. If there's a little bit of paint, you could just beat it. Now, let's come up here. Just pulling. Just pull. Lightly, lightly. Okay? Now, let's come up here. Decide where a few water lines live in there. Just by tapping. It's distant little waves and all that. This would be faster with a bigger knife. I don't want to take too long. Okay, let's come up here just a bit more. There we go. And when your painting dries, feel free to come back and add more paint. I think it looks better when you come back afterwards and you just give it like a little extra look. Okay, a little bit of white. Now, stroke your brush like almost like a C. Almost like if you're doing this motion. You're basically doing this motion. I'm just exaggerating it a bit. Okay, let's go again. Let's put in another one. I like to thank everyone that has subscribed to my channel so far, and I like to thank everyone who watches my videos and who makes this channel basically a possibility. You know, I'm not getting paid, but without you guys, I don't know if I would want to do this. Okay? Now, I'm gonna show you something cool. I'm gonna go into a little bit of white, and you can just pop in a few little foamy stuff. So, you grab your brush. I'm gonna try to show you guys the best, but you're just pushing the bristles upwards. It's better if you have your brush straight and just push it upwards. Just touch, let go. Just like that. That's a nice little detail that goes on there. Just like so. Lightly tap it. Minimal pressure. And just caress the canvas a bit. Now, let's deal with this. So for that, I'm gonna grab a little bit of yellow and white, cadmium yellow, and shoot, maybe even a touch of bright red. Bright red, alizarin crimson. My bad. And I'm just mixing it up on my palette. Very light color. Okay, let's come up here. And this is where the eye of the wave comes into play. Just going in circles. And then what you do, I'm gonna beat the blender brush a bit. Just come up here and blend it. Blend it until you get the achieved desired. Now, let's come up here onto the canvas. I'm gonna load up white onto my brush, and let's make that part the lightest. Okay? Now, let's go ahead. We gotta shape that wave out. Let me do that real quick. And you can pull that angle out a bit. You can play with this as long as you want. I just have limited time with this. if I go past 30 minutes, I lose audience attention. Okay, let me load up some Prussian blue onto my brush and just get all that blue you can. Okay, now we have all this going on. Let's take it a step further. Let's go ahead. Let's get some mountain mixture and some Van Dyke Brown involved. Now, let's come up here. Where do I want this to live? I think I want it to live right out there. Maybe it comes crashing down. Now, let's come up here. Keep on saying that a lot. And just pull that paint. Just moving that paint around. Now, let's go ahead. Let's put some land that lives out there. I'm not trying to perfect it too much right now. Now, let's go into a little bit of dark sienna and white. Cut a roll. Let's come up here. No pressure. Let that paint break. Again, this is where it's best you wait for it to dry and you come back at it at a different time. And you go again and you'll get better results. Oh, it's so amazing. Right now, it's not gonna look the best because I'm used to letting the paint dry and everything and coming back and fixing it. Alright, let's do one more. Maybe. And one more. There we go. Now, angle the strokes backwards. Just angling the strokes backwards. And you can do the same for the wave. Okay, let's put in some foam. I'm gonna try my best to dissociate myself from wet on wet painting. From now on, I do my own stuff. And it's true. Wet on wet, we would start with liquid clear, liquid black, liquid white, one of those. And I start with the blank canvas, which you would never see on a wet on wet style. Now, let's add foam. Get crazy with it. Let your brush go wild. Let it float around. just like so. Now I'm actually gonna change this. The color was too light, you could see through it. Didn't like it. And if you don't like something, don't deal with it and try to suck it in, but rather try your best to um, enhance it and fix it to your likings. Now, I was just putting a little bit of mountain mixture on my palette, and let's get over here. Little mountain mixture, just like so. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna try to take a different approach at it. I'm gonna go into more dark sienna, more white, and let's come up here. Let that paint stick onto your canvas. Okay, now I want to, let's put in some Van Dyke brown and some white. Okay. When I was teaching some people how to paint, they're telling me, "Oh, your paintings, when they're done and everything, they look so nice. But how come on your videos they don't look nice, or they do not look nice, but they don't look as nice as the finished result?" And I say simple, because I go back and I put more paint on there. And it's true. When you add more paint, you're putting another layer, and the highlights and all that could stand out better. Now, highlighting some of that foam area, just pushing up with my fan brush. It really doesn't matter how you put on the highlights, as long as you have them basically. That's all that matters. Let it splash on, play on. Okay, now let's come up here and we'll blend it just slightly, just slightly. Now, let's come up here. Let's focus back on the painting, even though I'm loading up my brush with Prussian blue. Okay, it was meant to be land. Good to know. Sometimes things are meant for a reason. Let's come up here, make it go crazy. Load up your brush completely and just tap on a few little highlights. Just a few little highlights. Now, right now in a bit, when you guys see the finished result of my painting, you guys will see the photo of when I add more paint. I'm gonna wait for it to dry, add more paint, and I'm gonna put that picture up, and you guys will see it towards the end for the thumbnail. So don't be surprised if you see it. And on top of that, if you guys really want to see, I'll show you guys how it's done and how to add more paint and make it pop out more. But if not, I'll just show how it ended up looking rather than showing you guys the process. Load up my 2-inch with cadmium yellow. Just tap it. That's all you gotta do. Tap, tap, tap. Tappity, tap, tap. You gotta play around a bit. Have fun with this. Okay, now I'm going to some white. And just put in what looks to be something there. Just like water, you know how it comes out there. Before I leave the video, I'm gonna show you guys my little rock here. Again, I'm gonna fix it up. Usually it dries in a day. Oh, this one's breaking actually. That's good. This one had the paint breaks that I wanted with the other one. Okay, a little bit of white. Just a little bit. And just let the water flow. Now, one more thing, and I'll let you guys be, because I know I passed the 30-minute mark. Just add a little detail into that wave. Okay, well, that's pretty much it for today's painting. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Right now when you guys see the photo, it's gonna look way different because adding a bit more paint does make a difference. But I like to wish each and every one of you the best of luck with this journey, this painting. If you follow along, send me a photo on Instagram. My Instagram handle is rxda603. I'd love to see what you guys create. And on top of that, I'd like to thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye, my friend.